All right. Welcome everybody to the Tuesday afternoon team call, which is our book club. I'm super grateful to be here with you guys, trying to get adjusted, like probably many of you guys, to the new summer schedule of the kids and sports and all the activities that are involved with that. But I'm just grateful to be here. So I've created kind of a new schedule just to kind of let you guys know. I always work in the morning, but my goal is to get up a little earlier. I don't need to get kids off to school. My goal is to be done every day by 11 a.m. so I can go hike and kayak and fish and all the fun stuff with the kids, except for Tuesdays. I'm going to commit Tuesdays to 1 p.m. so that we can make sure that we stay on track with this call. But I'm super excited to be here. I do want to give a shout out to Laura. I saw you just hop on, Laura. Thank you for leading the call last week. So I could be at my daughter's track meet and then out to birthday festivities with Gabby. So thank you. Also excited. I'm going to see everyone that's on this call live right now. I'm going to see you guys at Summit in like 3.5 weeks. So that's exciting. And I'm letting some more people in as I speak too. So I'm excited to see you guys at Summit. Kind of the goal, obviously, you guys are registered for your tracks. There's the workouts. We've created a Facebook chat thread. So if you're not a part of that, make sure you ask me. There is a post in the Dynasty Strong Level Up squad with a link you can click on, and it will add you to that chat group. So if you're not in the chat group and you can't figure that out, just let me know and I can make sure to add you in there. The purpose of that is so that we can stay connected while we're there, because there are thousands of people. And once Summit gets started, it's nonstop, going from workouts to eating to your workshops, to parties, all of that stuff. So we use that group to communicate, like when we want to do a team picture. The way that we do it is we're kind of like, hey, who wants to go out to dinner tonight? And we'll kind of get a roll call, and then we'll try to get a reservation and go. So that's what that group's going to be for. And then also what we do a lot of times is just meet in the lobby of our hotel, in the evenings. So that's where we'll be like, hey, we're in the lobby of X hotel. We'll be here till like midnight or whatever. And then you guys can come and get to know each other, take pictures, hang out and all that fun stuff. So I'm excited to go. It's my only trip we have planned for the summer. So I'm excited to get out and see you guys. Now I want to show you guys something real quick. I just announced it in the team page, but they updated some stuff in the Coach Online office. As you can see right here, the main page when you log in looks different. It says your projected rank, shows Success Club stats for the month that you're in, shows your motivation or your why, so you can edit that. I was reading it today. I was like, I wrote that like years ago, and I have never seen that. I don't even know where that was, but it probably on my Team Beachbody profile. But it shows up right there, so you can be reminded every single day. Easy click to go see your earnings. You can see where your Success Club points came from regular orders, like a total solution pack. And then you can also see how many points you have from the combined PV of your customers. Just a reminder, that's a new thing for Success Club, is every combined 135 personal volume between your retail customers and your preferred customers can give you 1 point as well. So you can see that. I also love for new coaches that there's a daily easy button for the daily activity tracker. So not really confusion on what you do every day. Come to your main page, check out, remind yourself of your why, where you're at on your monthly goals, and then your daily activity tracker. So I just wanted to share that with you guys as we get started today. So with that being said, let me see, there's something I got to pop up the chat so I don't miss if there's any questions. So Jamie just says, I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait for Summit either, Jamie. So today, last week, Laura led the call. We were pages 1 through 41. Today, we're pages 41 through 80. That is where the chicken and the egg starts, all the way to the end of the fulcrum and the lever. And then to the page, to the part where it says we aren't saving dolphins. So I'll try not to talk the whole time. I'll share some of my takeaways. I love this book. You guys can probably start to see why I picked this book. It's exactly what I need in this time of my life and business as well. And it's funny how that kind of happens, right? We read things and we're like, oh, I really needed to hear that. So I'm going to go, there's tons of takeaways. But as you know, my goal, like for me and my business, hitting Success Club is not difficult. Like you guys can see, I'm almost at like Success Club 20. I've hit Success Club 10 for 12 years straight. So that's never an issue for me right now. Currently, we don't know what the future holds ever, what challenges I might face. But my what I have to work on is leading a team. And one of my main goals right now is to see more of my coaches hitting Success Club, more of the entire team hitting Success Club, more of the entire team recruiting coaches and building their teams, right? So I really loved a lot of the stuff that had to do with leading your team. And I'm going to find where it's at, the ones that I wanted to share. Oh, this one I loved. And although we're not in an office, it made me think about my time working in an office and at a job. But we can obviously apply it to our business. It says, even more misguided, page 57, even more misguided, though, are the managers who discourage even the activities that involve relatively little time investment. Most of the people I work with admit that they would be embarrassed or ashamed if the boss walked by as they were laughing at a YouTube video or talking to their 5-year-old son on the phone or telling a joke to colleagues in the hallway. Have you guys ever felt like that in a job? Like you're afraid to be caught watching something funny or chatting at the cubicle of your friend. If the boss walked by, you kind of are like, oh crap, I'm not in my spot. That's how I've always felt. But it says, and yet, as we've seen, all these practices provide exactly the kinds of quick bursts of positive emotions that can improve our performance on the job. And the bosses who discourage positivity in their employees are at a double disadvantage because these tend to be the people who are most negative themselves. In short, sacrificing positivity in the name of time management and efficiency actually slows us down. So I absolutely love that, that analogy. I'll make sure no one's waiting to come in here. And then it goes on to share. And one of the things I've implemented with that is I have a brand new coach, Mario. He's not on with us now, but he hopped on a couple of weeks ago. He shared with us, he's going through a divorce and taking care of the kids and doing all of his stuff. But one thing that I was like, he's always been he sends me like 10 funny Instagram reels or Facebook reels every day. Like, and I appreciate that. And I've always like waited when I'm not working, I'll go look at those. And so like when I'm hanging out at night doing my little video game time, like in between matches, I'll watch those videos. But I was like, after reading this, I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch those because they make me laugh and are funny while I'm working. I just have to be disciplined and not scrolling and watching a whole bunch of other ones. But that's been awesome. But what I've also noticed is it forces me, because I'm naturally introverted and I'm not chit-chatty, to have conversations with my brand new coach instead of like how I'm very structured in my to-do list, my business activity tracker. I'll like send my follow-up and then I won't even check to see if they responded until the next day. It's a strength that I'm so disciplined in doing those things, but it's also a weakness in the fact that I'm not back and forth with people. So it's given me kind of a little balance of that. I could talk about so many things, but I'm going to share only one other part under the fulcrum and the lever. I was really thinking about this because I'm at a point in my life, building our Beachbody business and also working on building our rental business and all the kids' activities, where it's like, I know where I want to take this team, and we've talked about some of those goals. And I'm like, man, but I don't know if I want to put in all the extra time or all the extra hours and sacrifice, kayaking or boating with my teenage daughters that in 2 years will be 18, And so the fulcrum and the lever was exactly what I needed to hear. He gives an example about if two kids are on a seesaw and they weigh exactly the same and they're sitting in the exact same spot, they're going to be sitting in the same spot. Unless one kind of bounces, it will kind of teeter. But he says if you put a lighter kid and a heavier kid on there, obviously the heavier one's going to be, have the other kid up in the air. But the little kid, he says, if he moves closer to, like if he moves it, he could hold he says the lighter boy can climb off his seat and with a single finger use the seesaw lever to move his heavier friend up and down by shifting the point around which the energy is applied. And then I'm going to read what I really took away from that I could apply to my business. It says, our power to maximize our potential is based on two important things. One, the length of our lever, how much potential, power, and possibility we believe we have. And two, the position of our fulcrum, the mindset that I have that underlined, with which we generate the power to change. What this means in practical terms is that whether you are a student striving for better grades, a junior executive striving for better pay, a teacher hoping to better inspire students, you don't need to try so hard to generate power or produce results. Our potential, as we saw in part one, is not fixed. The more we move our fulcrum or the mindset, the more our lever lengthens, and so the more power we generate. Move the fulcrum so that all the advantage goes to a negative mindset and we never rise off the ground. Move the fulcrum to a positive mindset and the lever's power is magnified, ready to move everything up. So simply put, by changing the fulcrum of our mindset and lengthening our lever of possibility, we change what is possible. It's not the weight of the world that determines what we can accomplish. It is our fulcrum and lever. So I absolutely love that. So, you know, you guys saw my coach office. I had one of my diamonds drop on the leg that I am focused on really building, and it dropped our business in 1 week, 2 weeks ago from 6-star to 4-star. And so I'm over here like in my mindset trying to scramble, work harder, like how to do this, like get to where we want to be at a solid 9-star diamond this year. And it's going to be taking more of this work right here with the mindset, not like scrambling to just put pieces back in place, or how can I convince this person to get their diamond back, or this person to work harder. It's really focusing on my mindset so I can generate more power and leverage. So I absolutely needed to hear that this morning. When I was not this morning, that was yesterday morning that I read that. So that's my takeaways. I could talk forever on this book. So that's what I'm going to share is I'm going to really work on my mindset, because I do see myself sometimes wavering, and it's crazy. Like, because I set bigger goals, like I took on building our 5th vacation rental and building our house at the same time. And sometimes I let fear slip in. When I see the mortgage payments of both of them, I'm like, oh, this amount and this much I pay to taxes. And I feel like fear. And in 12 years, I've never felt fear. I've always been like, what can we create? What are we going to do over the next 5 years? And I found myself slipping a little bit in my own mindset. So you're going to see me working even harder on my mindset so I can get that leverage that we need. Okay, I'm done sharing. Who wants to share next?
I'll share. I hope I wasn't that person that lost her diamond.
You're not. Remember, you're in Gabby's business center.
I know, but it's still the same thing. I lost my diamond yet again, only this time it's really lost because she actually quit. So this was so timely when I was reading it about the fulcrum and the lever and this whole mindset thing, because I could have let that destroy me, and I probably would have a year ago. But it's put that fire in my belly, and it's more of an incentive to go out there and just work harder, not harder, but smarter, and try some things that I haven't done before. Like I posted last night, a story on my group for next month. And it was I'm still learning. I have so much to learn about social media, but you know, living on an island where we only have so many people that we can go after. And I think everybody here is sick of hearing me. So I have to branch out, but yeah, it could have destroyed me, but I switched my mindset and realized that if it's going to happen, I've got to get busy and not let it. Are you leaving? Bye. My husband, he's going to work. I have the house to myself. which doesn't happen very often. If those of you that don't know, I live with my husband, our daughter, her husband, and our 2 grandsons. So we're very busy here. But anyway, that was really great. And then I really loved earlier in this section all about the different things that we can do on a daily basis, the meditation, finding something to look forward to, like going to Summit in 3 weeks, commit to conscious acts of kindness, infuse positivity into your surroundings, exercise. Well, there's a novel idea, how to change our mindset, exercise and get those good, feel good endorphins. Michelle had a really great post yesterday about exercising and the effects of it. And I think I might steal that little snippet of a soundtrack and use it myself. And then spend money, but not on stuff, things like that can improve us rather than just fill a need for a new shirt or, whatever. So yeah, that's what I got out of all of this. So I'm taking all of those little snippets and I'm going to be, I do a lot of it already. I do a lot of it already, but, trying to enhance it and do more for my community.
Awesome. And I want to remind you, you mentioned it, Laura, that you're going to need to branch out and work more on social media. That's what I want to remind you of, is you have the ability to connect with women all over the world, not just on the little tiny island of Maui.
Exactly. My BNI chapter, BNI is the largest networking organization of its kind in the world. We have over 79,000 chapters worldwide with almost 300,000 members. And I have access to all of those people. So I can go on to my little app and set up appointments. I have one set up for this coming week with a gal in Oregon because I'd like to get some more business in Oregon. So it gives me a reason to go there, number one, since my mom passed away, and just kind of reconnect with my hometown. So if you aren't familiar with BNI and you want to see what it's like, you can come visit our chapter. We're still online, which is kind of nice. Jamie did. It was fun having her. She's looking around for maybe a chapter in her town, but a third of my business has come from BNI. So I feel really lucky that people are willing to, if I give business to them, in turn, they're going to want to give business to me. So.
Awesome. Yeah. I love that, thinking outside the box. Cool. Who else wants to share something?
I will. I absolutely love coaching mindset. I feel like that is like better than like anything else that we have to offer. Because if you can change the way that you think about things, change your perspective, it just changes everything. It just flips the switch.
Absolutely. Anybody else want to share something? I saw your question, Laura, and I'll get to that in the chat. Don't be shy. I'll see what else I can share while we wait. Where was it? It's funny, I have something underlined in every single page almost. Okay, it's another one just about the mindset, because it's going upon the fulcrum and lever. At the very end, it says, let me see. It says that point is so important. It says the mental construction of our daily activities, more than the activity itself, defines our reality. And it really made me think of, during my first year of coaching, I listened to 3 books and then an audio series over 60 times. I worked in a shop, 12-hour days, and I used to just listen to music in my headphones. Once I became a coach, I started listening to personal development, and I had a MP3 player Nokia phone. It was a little skinny phone, black and red, like this big. You could put a little mini SD card in it. And I put The Slight Edge, Think and Grow Rich, Millionaire Next Door, and then Craig Holliday's 90 Days of Excellence on it. And I just listened to them on repeat. And so one of those was the Slight Edge. It's kind of like the compound effect. It's the same principles. And the thing that I kept getting from that, a couple of things, is that you can do all of the activities with the wrong mindset and get a negative result. You can do all of the right activities and have a wrong mindset, and you'll get a negative or incorrect result. You could do all of the activities with the right mindset consistently over time, and you'll get a positive result, and your life will massively change over the next, 3, 5, 10 years. And so that became so ingrained in my head about you can't just do the business activities and have a poor mindset. Like you could do drink your shake, do your workout, listen to personal development, and ignore what you're learning, I guess would be the word. Post on social media, go on your stories, make new connections, whether it's on BNI, in person, on social media, make invites, do follow-ups, support the people that do purchase from you, help your coaches the best you can get results, lead team calls. You can do all of those, but if you're sitting there at home, laying in bed at night, or sitting at your office doing that business activity tracker, but you're like, I'm just no good at this. Like, no matter who I reach out to, they all say it's too expensive, or I can't find any business building coaches. I can't find anybody that stays committed to their program. If you have that mindset and you're saying those things, you could do all of the things consistently for months, do all of the right business activity trackers, and never see any progress or a positive result from that. So it's so important that you have that mindset and build that, kind of going back to what I shared last time about your mindset, is move that lever towards your mindset and doing it with, I am a great coach. I can attract hardworking men who have experience in sales, who have a desire to retire earlier or spend more time with their kids before their kids are older. I attract these people into my life, and they are hard workers, and they are good dudes that work hard and deserve to live their dreams. And I'm going to find them, and I'm going to help guide them. Right. So like working with that type of mindset versus I can't find anybody, nobody's buying from me. So making sure that the mental construction of our daily activities is more important than the actual activity itself. So I love that part. Anybody else want to share anything?
I loved the study that they did with the people and the poison ivy, and how if you've ever had poison ivy or poison oak, you know how itchy it is. It's horrible. So they did a study, if you haven't read that part, that they used plants that wasn't poison ivy at all on half of the group, and then the other group, and told them that it was just, which was just a harmless shrub. And then they were actually told that it was the poison ivy, and some of them actually got the welts because their mind thought that they had been rubbed with the poison ivy, while the group that was actually rubbed with the poison ivy was told that it was a placebo and that they wouldn't get it, and or that they would get it. No, they were actually rubbed with the poison ivy and told it wasn't, and they some of them got it and some of them didn't. So their mind was your mind can talk you in and out of anything. So it's pretty powerful. Did I explain that right?
You explained that perfectly. Thank you. That's crazy to think about. You know, that's a very easy example he gave to explain how powerful the mind is. And I think it was in last week's readings when you were leading, Laura, it talked about the doctors who get the disease because they're studying the disease and then all of a sudden they think they have it. It's because it's in their mind. They create all that. So definitely the mind is the most powerful thing. I was just thinking about, I shared a post today in the Dynasty Strong Level Up Squad. If you guys didn't check that, I shared a lot of posts. One, the new update to the coach office, but I shared like simplifying this business in three steps. And the third step was really leaning into personal development and the mindset, because every time I've seen somebody that struggles with this business, it's almost never the actual steps of the business, the 12 business activity tracker steps, well, excluding the personal development aspect. It's always a couple things. It always leads back to one thing, something in their life, like something in their life is not going as planned. Like there could be a sickness in the family. There could be something extra stress at their job. There could be their own health is not good, so they don't have the energy. But usually when someone says, I'm struggling with this business, my first thought is like, what are you struggling with in life? Like there's something in their life that they're struggling with. Not the business is there, the business is working, and the business is simple. Do your workouts, drink your shake, follow your meal plan, and invite other people to do those things with you. Like that's all this business is. Like very simple, those very simple things. So when they're saying it's not working, it's that there's something off in their life. They're not eating right, so they don't have confidence that the programs work because they're not losing weight or they're gaining weight, or they're not exercising, so that they're not getting the positive endorphins. They can't confidently say, do these workouts and it will change your life because they're not doing them. So it's always something in their own life. It's not really the business. It could be they're drinking too much or, excessively, and then they wake up hungover too often and they don't have the energy. It could be they're doing things, poor habits, whatever that might be, in any sort of addiction. It could be drinking, it could be smoking, it could be binge eating, it could be pornography, it could be any number of things that they're doing, and it's zapping their energy because they're not living in alignment with their values and who they are, or what they want to aspire people to be. So it's like almost never the business when the business isn't working. If they're doing the activities, it's something in their own mindset and personal development. So I absolutely love this book because it's really just teaching us, get your mind right and your actions in alignment with who you are, who you say you are, and everything else will follow. So I love that. So if you're struggling with anything, that would be the first place I would look. It wouldn't be looking for the next training video from Julie Voris or Lindsay Matway or even Summit. It would be like, what do I got to fix in my life so that I can have the best energy and really connect with people? Okay, that's what I want to share. Again. Anybody else want to share anything?
I will. I've been listening to it. I in hindsight, being 2020, I should have bought a physical copy. So I have to make a lot of notes in my head or get to where I'm sitting down and listening to it and write it out. But there was a few things that I remember that stuck out, and one of them was how he talked about focus on the reasons that you will succeed, and not why you fail. I feel like it's so easy to throw up roadblocks and why you can't do something or why it won't work, rather than focusing on why it will or how it will and things like that. And that kind of hit home for me. It's like, oh, I don't have a big social media following, so I can't do this, or just things like that. And it resonated that all it takes is kind of flipping the script on that and focusing on why it will work. You know, yeah, I don't have a big social media following, but I can reach this many people, and that's all it takes to really get rolling and things like that. So
Yeah. Another thing, I think a lot of us get caught up in, I mean, there's two things here. You're sharing like some of the limiting beliefs we could have that could hold us back from building this business. I don't have a big social media following. I'm shy, like a whole bunch of things, right? Or I'm naturally introverted, or any number of things that we could be sharing that are, we'll call them limiting beliefs. There's that end that we can work through, and really figuring out, okay, what are these limiting beliefs, like Jeremy said. But I was just, as you were sharing that, Jeremy, I was thinking, at least for the like social media, for example, you know, at this team's highest point, we had 45,000 coaches on this team. And I looked at my customer list the other day, and I have just over 10,000 customers between all of my business, all of our businesses. And so if you add that together, that's 45,000 coaches plus the customers. It's like 50 plus thousand people on this team that are doing workouts or drinking shakes or, you know, doing any number of things that we do as BODi partners. And my social media has, my Instagram, that is my main source of what I use, has 13,000 followers, right? So your business will never be a reflection of how many social media followers you have. It's your ability to connect and network with the right people that you can connect with, that they can build with as well. Gabby shared, and this is off topic of the book, Gabby shared a reel with me the other day. It was talking about, it was just some podcast. It was like, someone was asking a millionaire how he went from a millionaire to a billionaire. And he said, the only thing different was putting a huge focus into networking. Once you get to being a solid millionaire, is getting to a billionaire is networking. It's like using resources and connecting with the people around you to expand upon all of the skills that you built and mindset you built to be a millionaire. So I thought that was a powerful message as well about the power of just networking. And that, circling back, like even myself, I was just like, how did I get to that? But it was based upon the fact that you don't have to have a whole bunch of followers to be successful. As you guys know, last summit they shared the people that BODi partnered with to rebrand from Beachbody to BODi. And two guys were on stage sharing. Those guys, I went to their social media there. I think they mentioned it, but I did go to their social media. He had less than 1,000 followers, and he did business with Carl Deichler and Beachbody, right? And that's got to be millions of dollars of a contract of business, and with less than 1,000 followers. So your follower count will never be a reflection of your business. Cool. Anybody else want to share any thoughts that are on your mind or anything from the books?
Didn't those guys, weren't they the pirate something or other? What was their names?
Can't remember. Something pirates. I can't remember.
And they had a book. I think Michelle knows who they are. Michelle.
Category Pirates.
Category.
What?
Category Pirates.
Justin, or yeah, Category Pirates.
We have both those books.
What are the books called, Jeremy?
One of them's called Category Pirates, and then I'll have to message you. Well, I'll link up with you on Messenger.
Oh, Snow Leopard. Snow Leopard. That's what Michelle said. Michelle reads all the books.
Yeah, Jeremy, if you could take what you have too and send it to me, that would be awesome. We can put it.
Or just do a post on the Level Up Squad.
Yeah,
so everybody can see.
Yep, I can do that.
Which book did you like better?
I didn't ever read Snow Leopard. I'm trying to remember the names of both books. There was Category Pirates, and then there was one other one. They're all about niching down. Is the big focus.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool. Man, there's so many good things. I have like multiple paragraphs marked in every page of this. That's where Jeremy's like, man, I should have got the book, so I don't have to keep it all in my head. Cool. Anybody else want to share anything so I don't take over all the time again?
I just wanted to share something. I am not part of the book club right now, but I just messaged Scotty this morning saying that I want to hop back on the team and build on my health esteem. And I just want to say thank you to Scotty for welcoming me back with open arms. So just want to share that. So thanks. Yeah.
Yep, we're glad you're here, man. And you are a part of the book club just by being on the Zoom, my man.
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah, we're excited to have you. I want to share something, just an experience I had. Some of you guys have probably heard this before because it's a point in my business where I had a huge shift. Talking about the mindset off of what I shared earlier is, as I started my business, like it took me 8 months of watching Lindsay to finally jump in. It took 8 months of watching her to be like, okay, I could emulate how she does this. I'm not going to be a gross salesman that sends scripts to everybody, copy and pasted. I saw Lindsay, how she approached me, how she attracted me. And I was like, okay, I could do that. So I had to overcome that first, for 8 months of watching her. And then I had to have another thing happen at that time. My third daughter being born and having this overwhelming feeling of how am I going to provide for my family? Like I'm working 12 hours already. Gabby's working nights, getting the doctor bills. And I was just felt so much pressure. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I need to figure this out. And then just feeling in my office that morning, like, be a coach, dude. You love the workouts. You don't have to leave. You don't have to go get a degree. You don't have to go back to school. You don't have to get another full-time job. You can do this in the pockets of your time. You can do this when Gabby's at work at night. You can do this on your lunch break. And I became a coach, right? So I had 8 months to kind of build up that this was possible for me, continue doing the workouts. So that was a building moment. And then that moment of like, I was more afraid of how am I going to provide for my family than will I fail at this coach thing? Or will I be able to do this? So I built up to that. And when I started, because people ask me all the time, like, when did it click for you? Like it clicked April 11th. The day I signed up, I was like, I'm doing this. Like, it wasn't like, I hope this works for me. I'm going to see if this works for me. It was like, I'm going to do this. Getting on the phone with Lindsay. I didn't have internet in my house. I didn't have a smartphone. And I didn't have a landline to call my coach from. Like I went to my neighbor's house, did my getting started right stuff from his home office and called Lindsay on his landline. And on that phone with Lindsay, I'm like, what do I got to do? And she told me hit Success Club 10 and Diamond in 90 days. And I was like, done, without ever using really social media. I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure this out. So I had this solid belief that the work I put in would produce positive results. And you guys know that I listened to Think and Grow Rich, Millionaire Next Door, The Slight Edge, all 60 times that first year as I work. So I'm building my mindset as I'm going with that belief. So when I would go to work at night, I would put my kids to bed at 8:30 and I would be doing my activity tracker, which at the time was my list of 10 things I do every day. And I'd be like, I'm going to hit Success Club 10. I'm taking my wife on this free trip to Atlantis and it's going to be absolutely incredible. I'm a diamond coach. I'm a top 10 coach with Lindsay. I'm bringing my wife home from work. Like that's my positive talk as I'm working. If someone just does these workouts, they will get results, right? I'm going to find people to build this team. Like that's how my mind was. And I recruited people. I built my social media. We hit the goals that I set for myself. But then I got to a point, like I hit Diamond in 93 days. And then for about 9 more months, I didn't have any diamonds yet. So I'm still a diamond. And so my mindset is like, I'm still doing that. I hit Success Club 10 every month. I'm bringing my wife home from work. I love what I get to do. This is so awesome. If people do this, their life is going to change. But then I'm working like this. What the heck is wrong with these people? Why aren't these coaches doing anything? Like, they tell me that they want to earn $500 a month. They tell me they don't want their kids in daycare, but they're not even on the team call. Like, what the heck is wrong? Like, so I was speaking poorly about the people I was trying to help. And I was listening to an audio during my BODi Beast legs workout this morning, and it was talking about the energy and what comes out connects with other people's energy, and the same thing can either bring a positive result or a negative result. And it was sharing examples about how you could be thinking about somebody and then all of a sudden they call you. It's like how the universe works, right? And I was like, it took my corporate mentor saying, like, that's your problem. Like, you need to say, like, as you're working, you need to say, like, I'm not speaking about any of you. You guys weren't around with me back then, but I'll just use some of your names as I'm giving examples. It'd be like, I'm so stoked that Jeremy's on my team. Like, he is in the virtual gym every single day. I'm so pumped that I have someone like Laura on our team. Like, she's showing us that women over 60 can live healthy lifestyles and they can still live their dreams and set bigger goals for themselves and inspire other people. I'm so stoked. Like, I'm pumped that I have, Jamie and Jeremy and Laura and Michelle all coming to Summit with me this year. Like, we're going to have the greatest time. Right. And just focusing on all of, like, having that self-talk, not just for yourself, but about your team and the people that you're going to attract into your life. And those energy waves will go out and they'll feel that, they'll connect with that, and they'll level up with you versus the opposite. Right. Have you ever, like, sat in a job and when your boss doesn't think the most highly of you, even though you're a good worker? Like, I've been like that. So that's a good reminder too. And that's an experience from my past when I got corrected, constructive criticism from my corporate mentor, Alethea, about that. We went from diamond to 5-star diamond within 3 months of switching that mindset. And then we ended up at number 17 in the entire company, in the top 10, the end of that next year. And I had no idea how to earn elite points, what elite meant, how to get to top 10. I knew my coach was in it, but I wasn't, like, aiming for that, but I just shifted all of those things. We ended up in the top 20. And then the next year as a team, we were number 4 in the whole company. And that was all that shifted, was my mindset. Like, I had the mindset about myself. So that's the first thing we all need to work on. But then I had that positive self-talk about our coaches and our team and what we were capable of. Cool. Anybody else want to share anything? Any experiences, anything from the book?
I want to share one thing in regards to your mindset. It's kind of weird. You guys should try it with a necklace or something. Hold a necklace up that has, like, something just hanging at the bottom, and just think of the movement. Like, think it'll move forward and back, and it'll start to move forward back. Think that it'll go in circles. It'll go in circles, and think of it moving side to side, and it'll do it. And then think of it stopping, and it'll stop on its own. Try it on your own, and just watch. And what I believe that is our minds have the ability to affect our world. And because it's such a small thing, you can visually see it. So that's what I love when you're saying, Scotty, it's like, it's all in the mindset. Like, once you think positively of your team, the world ends up reacting to it. So try that experiment with, like, a little necklace or something. I was doing it with a charger the other day, and I was just, like, mind blown. I was like, how is this happening? So yeah, try it out and see how it goes.
Awesome. Thank you. Just recently, as you guys know, I've kind of working on attracting men and speaking on my social media, niching down a little bit more. And, like, I recruited this incredible kid named Nick, right? And like as I set these goals and really who I wanted to attract, Nick came in And like his job is like getting on the phone and selling fitness and nutrition certification programs to people. And he teaches live fitness classes. So he's like the least shy person you ever meet. Like he's just outgoing, super chatty, super fun, knows how to do sales. And I was like, this is so awesome. But it was like, it first came out like, this is who I want to bring onto this team. I want people who are not afraid to get out there, who have some of these abilities already, and we're going to level up together. And it was just cool to kind of see that. But the cool thing is like Nick has every single excuse once he did sign up to not build this business. Like he had to pack his family up during his first few months. He's like working towards the $500 bonus, but he's in his stories every day, doing his workout, sharing his shake with his kid, his 2-year-old, sharing that. His wife is jumping in on workouts. They're sharing those workouts on Reels. All while they were packing up and moving. They had to go to Mexico for like visa issues with his wife. And he bought like 3 months worth of supplements. And he moved to Mexico. He's in Mexico now. He's still doing his workouts. He's still setting up phone appointments. And then for his wife, or for him, he's got to go back to Australia in November for 3 months. And he's going to stock up on supplements. He's going to go to Australia, and then he's going to be back here 3 months later. And like, isn't that all the excuse in the world to be like, once we get this sorted in 9 months, like I'll sit down and get on this business. Like that would be like the typical excuse that you would hear from somebody. But by changing my focus on who do I want on this team, it's people like, I'm in, like, I'm going to do this no matter what obstacles are here. Like, this is my mission. These are the goals I have. I'm going to make it happen. And then you find your way around any obstacle that comes. Laura.
So he moved from where to Mexico? From Australia or from?
He lives in the US with his wife, but they had
Okay.
their visa. So they got to go to Mexico for 3 months. So they're here. They have a physical address. They have everything they need. Yeah. Yeah.
I was going to ask how that happened, how you can, but if someone is in a foreign country, but they're in the military and they are on a military base, they can become a coach, right?
Yeah, you can use the APO
partner.
address. Yep. What they're doing would be basically be like, let's say Gabby and I wanted to go to our home country of Bolivia for 6 months with the kids. Like, I could still run and operate my business. I'm a citizen of the US. I have my social security number, bank accounts here. I just wouldn't be able to auto ship stuff to me, which would be, I would definitely take my 6 months of Shakeology because I wouldn't be able to miss it. But that's basically what they're doing. But it was like, I'm sharing that because that's an easy excuse to not build the business or to wait till I get back or put it off. But he's out there crushing. He's even like, our personally sponsored coaches are having a diamond retreat at my cabin for anybody that can come in August that are personally sponsored coaches. And he's even trying to figure out how to leave Mexico early, get to the retreat, and then find an Airbnb for 3 months until his wife needs to be somewhere in California for an event. Like he's that committed that he's like, he could easily be like, oh, we're in Mexico for this. I can't even go for that. But he's like, I don't know if I'm going to make it or not, but I'm going to hit the goal of diamond and I'm going to try to come to that. But if not, then whatever, like, we tried, right? So
I
like,
wish it wasn't when it is, because that's my 40th wedding anniversary. But what's Nick? Nick, what's his last name?
here, I'll pull him up for you. Let me
follow him.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's on Instagram, and let me go to Instagram instead of Facebook, because that's where he's on both. But and Nick, when you watch this recording, yes, we're using you as an example.
Go, Nick.
You 1 second.
Good day, mate.
Yeah, I love his accent. Here, I'll show you. Here, I'll copy it and then I'll just show you. He's gonna be like, where did I get all these new followers from today? There you go. And then his is this is his right here. I wish I could see his story. So this is Nick. Cool.
Nice.
See, already dad body coach, married to a spicy Latina, getting certified as a PT. The business you build is a lifestyle you create. You created this. The other day, like, so our conversations, for example, aren't like, hey, did you listen to the national wake up call? Or hey, are you setting up appointments and doing your activity tracker? Our conversations are him coming to me saying, hey, I'm creating a form for my prospects on Google Drive. Do you have anything that I could look at or anything that works? And then he created one, shared it with me. And I was like, dude, these questions are so good because he's done more actual sales than me. And I actually learned from him. So he's just out there going after, right? Who wants to like recruit coaches that are like that, where you're like, dude, what are you doing? I want to learn. Like, that's awesome. I want to copy that. Even though
Can you share that with us, or is that too personal?
No, I'm sure he'd share it with you. I'll text him after, and then I'll see if I can share it in the team page. But it's like deep questions. Like my questions are, I have one, but it's very simple, but his are more deep to really get down to know the person. And if there's anything, you have to read through it, but it's really great. So he uses that to kind of pre-qualify and get to know them. Then we gets on the phone with them. He knows everything about them that he needs to touch on to get them to follow through and commit. So cool. Anybody else want to share? If not, we can wrap it up and I'll get to baseball practice with the kiddo. Anybody else want to share anything? And if not, that is totally okay. Well, I just want to tell you guys, I'm super grateful that you guys are here live. I was kind of hesitant what's going to happen, with the summer, with new schedules for some people, but I'm glad to see you guys here. Stay connected. Eman, grateful that you're back. I'm glad, like literally he texted me this morning and then asked me a question, like right as we were getting on the call. And I was like, hey, we're actually on a call live. And he just hopped right on. And I love that. So we're glad that you're here. Like literally, I told you it was after noon. It was after we started this call that I was like, we have a call, that he hopped on. So I love that. Taking action, diving in. If you guys get a second, go to the Dynasty Strong Level Up Squad and check out the post that I shared in there today about being a BODi partner and the 3 things to focus on. I really think if we're going to, as we're expanding this team and growing into one of the top teams as BODi partners, we need to simplify it. There's so many things. I'll admit to you guys, I'm overwhelmed almost every day when I look at this BODi block, get 2 BODi blocks for free. And there's this promotion, and to qualify for this party at Summit, there's this. And like, I'm overwhelmed with all the information. And so my goal and focus is like all that stuff's there, but I'm focusing on, this is the one package we bring people in with. We get them results. We get them to fall in love with their workouts and their programs and to bring people on board. And that's how we build this team. Like not focusing on 1,000 different things and promotions. Here's how you earn money. Here's how we help people get results. Here's how you bring people in. And here's how we help them do that for other people. And so I'm really going to work on simplifying it because I don't like feeling overwhelmed or filling my mind with so many different things that don't really matter in the long run of things of getting people results. So go check that post out. I kind of laid some things out there, or shared some things laid out. And we'll see you guys on next week's team call. And we'll see also in the team page. Jeremy, I think I saw, or someone shared. Oh yeah, Jeremy, you shared the category stuff. Could you share that in the team page for everybody? Awesome. Okay. Thank you guys for being on live, and we'll